most important thing is there to be dialogue between representatives of the different religions. What we intend to do is not so much about consensus building, but it is about moving people from where they are to a greater, to a different understanding. As we always say, those that are highly conservative, if they can become moderate, those that are moderate, if they can become progressive, that is progress. It does not have to be one common position, but it is about being moved from where you are to a different level that is much more accommodating, much more accepting. The positions are very diverse because we have different religions when it comes to advancing health, when it comes to advancing women's rights and gender justice. There are those that have been able to move from their previous very conservative positions to now what seems to be either moderate or very progressive. I can give an example. The Anglican Church here in Kenya. The Anglican Church in Kenya was not ordaining women bishops, yeah? And even at some point had a moratorium stopping any discussion about women applying to become bishops. When that moratorium came to an end, immediately the Anglican Church, two women were ordained as bishops. So that is progress. We also have churches like the National Independent Church of Africa, NISA, African Brotherhood Church, that have also ordained women, much as they are part of the African traditional religions. And most of the African traditional religions were actually established during the independence struggle, and they are very pro-culture. So for them to have moved to the point where now they have even ordained bishops, that is very, very great progress. If you look at a faith group like Dini ya Roho Mafutapore, which is in West Pokot, it's a very traditional church. But then at the moment they are ordaining women as clergy, and they have accommodated that and included women in their constitution to be among those that are in leadership positions when it comes to decision making and policy making. So there is progress that is being made. It's just that progress is progressive and it is not instant. It's very, very important again now that youth are given center stage when it comes to consultations on such matters. Because the way some of the challenges that we are facing, like female genital mutilation, early marriage, gender-based violence, exclusion of women from leadership, exclusion of women from positions of policy making within faith structures, is because of norms that have been passed from generation to generation. And it's important that we address some of those norms that then make women not to be represented in positions of decision making and policy making. And that is where now we are having discussions also with young people, getting them to participate, getting their views, getting their opinions, but also instilling upon them the new norms that accommodate participation of women, participation of girls in decision making, policy making. They are growing their understanding on issues that are violating rights of women and girls, but also on how to make the community much more equitable for everyone, so that everyone can realize their full potential. So that's what we are here for the next 3 days, including yesterday where we had the youth pre-convention, that is the 4th day. And we are very grateful that we have participants who are really from very diverse backgrounds and who can be able then to share different experiences and different interventions that others can scale up and replicate in their own countries, in their own communities, in their own regions, in their own faith communities, whether it's churches, mosques, temples, or any other places of worship. The faith community is very, very critical when it comes to advancing issues on health, when it comes to advancing issues on women's rights and gender justice, when it comes to advancing peaceful, just, and inclusive communities. If you look at the faith community, for example, when it comes to provision of health services, the faith community provides between 40 and 60% of health facilities or health services in most of the developing countries. I'm sure many people, even before the government established their own health facilities, were born in mission hospitals. If you look at schools, many schools were actually established by churches and other faith groups. And therefore, when within those particular facilities, provision of health is provided in health facilities that are run by the faith community, then knowledge is provided in schools and other education institutions that are run by the faith community again. So the faith community has been a leader in this process. It's just that some traditions and some practices still take time. But otherwise, when we are looking at issues to do with teenage pregnancy, early marriage, fighting female genital mutilation, or changing people's perceptions around female genital mutilation, changing people's perception about wife inheritance, ownership of property, the faith community has actually been the lead, and it needs to continue leading that process, because that transformation has not been complete. It's a continuous transformation, and without the faith, I don't think we would have achieved what we have currently.
Kwa majina kamili naitwa Saumu Mwinyi, nafanya kazi na shirika la Kenya Muslim Youth Alliance, kwa kifupi KIMYA. Kenya Muslim Youth Alliance ni mshiriki mkubwa katika kutekeleza miradi inayodhaminiwa chini ya Faith to Action Network. Kumekuwa na changamoto nyingi sana. Changamoto ya kwanza ni kwamba kuna ile mizozo baina ya dini tofauti na matabaka tofauti. Pia vile kuna mizozo ndani ya dini. Tunajua sisi wenyewe within hizi dini zetu, kwa mfano kama dini ya Kiislamu, ndani yake kuna matabaka tofauti, lakini kuna zile sintofahamu na mambo ambayo kulingana na zile mafunzo yao ambao wanayapata yanasababisha mizozo fulani ili wao kuelewana. Na pia vile katika maeneo ambayo tunafanya kazi kuna mizozo baina ya dini tofauti. Tunajua kwamba ndani ya Kenya, ndani ya ukanda wa Pwani, tuko na Waislamu, tuko na Wakristo, tuko na wale ambao wanaamini zile dini za kitamaduni, lakini pia bado kuna mambo ambayo tunakosa kuelewana. Kwa mfano, hasa nikizungumzia vijana mara nyingi wao wanawaona wazee ambao wanaabudu zile dini za kitamaduni, hawawachukulii kwamba hii, wanawapatia respect kwa wao pia hile ni dini yao, lakini wanawaeka kwamba wao ni watu ambao wanajiweka katika masuala ya kichawi. Kwa hiyo tunapata katika upande wa Pwani tumekuwa na cases nyingi ambazo vijana wanawaattack wale wazee. Kwa hiyo ni moja kati ya changamoto. Changamoto nyingine pia tunajua katika jamii zetu tuko na wanawake, tuko na wasichana, lakini wanapitia changamoto haswa za masuala ya afya ya jamii. Kwa hiyo sisi kama vijana na sisi kama shirika tunajaribu pia kuleta viongozi wa dini ili waweze kutuelezea haswa ni mafunzo gani, ili waweze kuelezea haswa ni mafunzo gani ambayo dini zetu zinaelezea. Tutapesha sana kwa changamoto gani mmenikata. Okay, yeah. Kwa hiyo tunajaribu kuhusisha pia viongozi wa dini ili waweze kuelezea jamii ni mafunzo gani ambayo yanapeanwa kuhakikisha ya kwamba pia afya ya jamii kwa kina mama na wasichana wadogo wanafaa kuifuatilia kulingana na yale mafunzo ya dini tofauti. Kwa hiyo kama shirika tumejaribu kupeana hamasa, kuhamasisha jamii, wanawake na vijana ili kuleta ile respect na respect dhidi ya kupunguza haswa yale masuala ya mimba za mapema. Kama tunavyojua, ndani ya Kilifi County ndiyo county ambayo iko na mwanamke mdogo zaidi ambaye yuko na mjukuu na mwanamke mdogo zaidi ambaye ameweza kupata mtoto. Kwa hiyo hii yote ni kwa sababu jamii imekosa kupata ile respect na mafunzo ya dini, ndio maana haya yote yanatokea. Kwa hiyo tunahamasisha jamii ili kujenga hiyo respect, na pia vile vile kuleta viongozi wa dini kushare, kuwaelezea jamii ni mafunzo gani haswa yako ndani ya dini yetu, kuhakikisha ya kwamba yanapeana respect na kumtunza mtoto wa kike pamoja na mwanamke pia vile vile. Hili pia mimi ningependa kushukuru Faith to Action Network, kwa sababu kimya ni mojawapo ambao tutaweza kupata tuzo ambayo itatusaidia sisi kuweza kuendeleza ile harakati zetu ambazo tunazifanyia kule nyanjani, na katika tuzo yetu hii tutaitumia kuhakikisha kwamba pia tunaenda katika zile learning institutions kama madrasas na skuli, ili kuweza kutrain vijana ambao tutawaita champions, wenye watakuwa wakizungumzia masuala ya afya ya jamii kwa vijana wenzao, na pia viongozi wa dini kuendelea kuhamasisha na kuhakikisha kwamba analindwa mtoto wa kike na kupunguza haya masuala ya mimba za mapema, na pia vile vile kupromote peaceful coexistence within Kilifi County.
Williams, I'm from Nigeria, attending this all-important convention of Faith to Action Network. You know, faith actors are stewards of change. We are responsible for bringing change in our communities. We are responsible for changing the narrative. We are responsible for making sure that gender justice is achieved in all spheres of our life. Oftentimes, faith leaders are the voice of the people. People listen to faith leaders. The congregation listen to them, depend on them, look out to them. But you see, over the years, faith leaders have kind of deviated. So this convention is a call for us to return to status quo, to take the mandate, to pass the message that gender justice is achievable, that women's right is human right, that even the perspective of the Bible and all other religious texts, gender justice should be enshrined in every aspect of our lives. Let women, let men, let boys rise to this occasion to defend the gender of all.
Hi, my name is Seth Naika. I'm from South Africa, and I'm honored to be here at the Faith to Action Network Interfaith Convention 2025. I work with an organization called Heartlines, as well as Faith Action to End Gender-Based Violence and the Interfaith Collective. I'm aware that we need to have religion making positive impact. So if I'm reading my text, my Bible, because that's what I use, my Bible must speak to the blessing of people. It mustn't be a text of terror. And this links to people's rights. It links to whether you are a person of different race, different color, different gender. Some people are scared, for example, if they, what if they are Muslim, or what if they are Baha'i, or what if they are gay? The reality is that God is a God of love. And in this place where I'm at, it's so beautiful to be together with people that are carrying with them faith that can actually be faith that brings justice. Even in the space, we are talking to issues around, nationality, the reality that we had this morning, Reverend Rodney Said from Palestine opening up in such a beautiful way. Religion must not be used, and faith must not be used to bring more divisiveness and fragmentation and polarization. We must look at God, understand God, and know that God brings healing and justice and peace.
Et si nous pouvons...
Chaque fois, on va revenir sur les négociations. Mais aussi faire en sorte que... We go to the third floor on chamber 2. Chamber 2. For those who are going to faith and coexistence, those ones will go to 4th floor on chamber 5. Here, anyone who still doesn't have clarity, reading texts to build peaceful coexistence. It's going to be on the sticker written Faith to Action Network. Okay? Okay, so...
Kwenda Mungu pamoja. Ndio mtu akifanya package
If you're happy and you know, clap your hands.
Amplifying change is the fund, and we support grassroots organizations jointly. We are a faith where we can work on and support organizations who work on advocacy means everyone.
Thank you very much, Honorable Denver. Can we give him a
Trying to speak in a way that I don't offend.
that the transition happens that way. I think
And faith organizations as well, and often working in networks. And we award grants on includes gender-based violence, it includes working with youth. It also includes tackling issues of